My secret faceless Instagram account has made over $45,000 since it was started just 6 months ago. But most people don't know how easy this is to actually do. So in this video, I'll show you how I blew up this Instagram account to over 750,000 followers. I'll try to get at least 1 million views on one of my reels, and I'll actually show you how I've made 45 grand to prove to you that building something like this is not luck. And unlike all the social media gurus on the internet, I'm actually going to show you the proof, because I've tested it, and this strategy works for entirely faceless accounts or for personal brands, meaning you could get the same results if you just follow the 5-part plan that I share today.
It's been a while since his last upload. Do you know where Dip has been?
I heard he's on a beach in Bali.
I heard he quit YouTube.
I heard he was locking himself in his mom's basement until he found the next viral strategy.
Don't worry, I was just researching. See, last year I noticed that most of the content on Instagram was getting repetitive as f***. Everyone was doing the same stuff. These stupid faceless motivational videos, boring talking head videos like these, trending audio reels, everything felt, well, repetitive. I mean, this guy literally has 1.4 million followers, but he can only get 76 likes on his videos. That's when you know it's bad. I knew there had to be a better way. So for 1 week, I locked myself in my war room and analyzed all the new trends on the internet. I went through hundreds of crypto bros, e-com gurus, and maybe a few OnlyFans models, and that was when I discovered it. This is our new formula. And let's start here with step 1. The first thing that you need to do is stop looking at your profile like an Instagram profile and start looking at it like a digital billboard for your business. This was one of my biggest mistakes when I first started building Instagram accounts a few years ago, and it's probably where you're messing up too. The goal is that your profile is set up in a way where if you get 100,000 views on a video, then you're converting as many of those views as possible into actual followers. Then, of those who decide to follow you, a percentage of them actually end up buying something from you. So that's how I set up my profile on my new account. To do this right, your profile needs 3 things to be optimized for retaining traffic and generating money. First, you need a profile picture that stands out so that people will actually click on it when you upload. If you're a personal brand, you should have a lot of contrast between you and the background. But for my faceless page, I just went with our logo because it has the name and it's bold. Next, your name should be stacked with keywords so that people who are searching for these keywords can actually find your page. For example, my account will talk about digital marketing and branding, so I'll have those at the end of my name. Finally, your bio needs to be short and sweet. You want to avoid long paragraphs here. Oh, and a pro maneuver that makes me a lot of money would be to set up an automation where people can DM you a specific word to get in touch with you. And I'll show you how to do this later in the video, but this works for all niches. So whether you're in health, fitness, travel, motivation, whatever, it's crucial that you optimize your profile. Step 2. Before we ever start making content, you need to understand how the algorithm actually works. What do you notice about all these insights from viral reels? Obviously, the view counts are high, but the reason they're so high is because of these other stats. I've studied thousands of viral outlier posts, and these are the 5 stats that you need to pay attention to. Number 1 is the average view duration. You need to find a way to get people to watch your video all the way through, and I'm going to show you how to hack that retention in the next step. Number 2 is the view to share ratio. This means that people share it to their story or they DM it to a friend. On a normal post, this is usually below 1%, but I've found that when you can get this ratio above 5%, you're gonna go viral. Number 3 is the view to save ratio, and this means that someone saved the post for later because they found it valuable. On a normal post, this is usually below 2%, but I found that when you can get this ratio above 5%, you will also go viral. Oh, and speaking of important ratios, would you guys do me a favor and hit the like button for me? Number 4 is the view to comment ratio. See how this post of mine has over 15,000 comments and this one has over 8,000 comments? Well, I found a secret automation tool to trick the algorithm with real comments from real people that I'll show you later in the video. But this works because it gets people to spend more time on your post when they comment. Oh, and major bonus points if you can get the angry Karens arguing in your comment sections. Lastly, and I've never heard anyone else talk about this one, but it is so important, and that is the view to follow ratio. How many new viewers have decided to follow you from this piece of content? content. I've noticed that when this number's high, you'll go mega viral every time, just like the people who joined my new school community called Content MBA. One of the beta testers inside literally got over 30 million views in his first month on a brand new Instagram account. But more on that later on. What do all these stats mean to you? Well, basically, you need to find a way to trigger these algorithm ratios on your account. And I found that the best way to do this is in step 3. See, when I was in my mom's basement, my war room, I found this account. It has over 400,000 followers from just 70 uploads. And this is what their content is like.
Have you ever noticed how a lot of couples tend to look quite similar to each other? Look at this couple and then look at this one.
See how you want to finish the video? That's how you know it's a good one. I'll play a couple more seconds for you.
This phenomenon of married couples beginning to look more alike over time is called spousal concordance, or the married couple similarity effect.
So this is brand new to you, and you probably didn't catch what they're doing here, but their insane growth has nothing to do with luck. They're using a new method to grow on Instagram that is truly brilliant. And I found more accounts in totally different niches that were all popping off using this same strategy. So now I'm gonna show you how to make one of these actually mega viral videos on your own account. So first things first, it all starts with the script. Before we can ever click record, we need a script that is going to actually hook people. And here are a few examples of good hooks that your favorite creators are using to trick you into watching their videos.
If you want to win big in the beginning, you're not going to have it all.
If a girl is looking at you, stop what you're doing and remember this.
This is what your muscles look like when you're taking creatine. And this is what your muscles look like when you're not taking creatine.
I haven't seen anybody talk about this business model. It's a brand new, super untapped way to make $10,000 a month minimum. And the crazy thing is, this will literally take you under a minute to set up.
The hook is going to be the most important part of your content because this is where people will decide whether they're going to stay and watch or not. So, for the sake of this example, let's say that we're making content about a digital product that teaches you how to grow on social media. You could use a positive hook by saying, this is the best online course for creators. You could use a negative hook by saying, you get no views because your content sucks. You could ask a question by saying, are you ready to actually get results on social media? Or you could share social proof by saying, this guy got 30 million views in a month from taking Content MBA. Whatever hook you choose, it just needs to be captivating. So for our viral video that we're gonna make, we're gonna use the social proof hook and say, these brands use the color green to convey growth, healthiness, and balance. Then I'm gonna keep sharing different colors and their meanings according to color psychology for the rest of our script. Remember, when you're writing this, you wanna be optimizing the script in a way that is gonna trigger these stats while you write it. And guys, you can literally do this for any topic: facial aesthetics, fitness, diet, travel. This framework works for everything. So, in my opinion, this script is pretty ideal because people are going to save it to refer back to the information. They'll likely share it with friends who are interested in the stuff, and hopefully they'll comment and maybe even argue over color psychology. Remember, we want as many angry Karens as possible arguing in the comment sections. Anytime you can trigger them, you're doing a great job. Once you're done with the script, then you need to find a voiceover. Now, you can either record the voiceover yourself, or you can use an AI voice tool like I do on my account. I find it great because I don't have to set up a microphone and I can just plug in the scripts super easily. The best AI voice tool that I found is called 11 Labs, and I dropped a link below if you want to sign up. Once you're in, you just need to come into the voice lab and find a voice that fits your brand and then paste over the script that you wrote. I do recommend that you find a voice that no one else is using, kind of like what we did, because honestly, people
are so tired of hearing this Adam voice over and over again.
What the fuck?
So we plug in the script that we wrote, and here's how it sounds.
These companies use the color green to convey growth, healthiness, and balance.
And guys, just to clarify, this doesn't only work with AI voiceovers. If you're a personal brand, you can be recording videos like this client does inside of my program Content MBA. And he already has over 22,000 followers. He started this account just 6 months ago back in February, and I've been working with him since day one. For someone who had no prior experience making content, he was able to get over 1.7 million views on a single video, and several others that have hundreds of thousands of views. Imagine how powerful that is for your business. You're getting millions of views from your content organically. I'll drop his testimonial on screen so you can pause and read it, but he's already made thousands of dollars from this account. And guys, again, this is what I'm talking about. Instagram can be a gold mine when you know how to use it right. The problem is most people who are creating on Instagram, one, have no idea how to make content that actually triggers the algorithm and go viral, and two, they have no idea how to make money from it. But don't worry, I'm gonna keep giving you the sauce in this video, so let's get back into it. After you have the voiceover done, then it's time to start editing the content. The first editing rule is pretty simple, but it takes your video from a mess to a piece of art. Take any successful Instagram reel and draw 4 lines like this. Do you see what's going on here? You might have heard of the rule of thirds in photography, but it's even more important in your Instagram reels framing, because the last thing that you want is for your face or your captions to be out of the frame for your viewers. So I built a digital frame for you to follow when you create new reels. You never want to put your subject in this area because this is where the social media buttons go and that part gets cropped out. This middle and upper thirds area is where you want your main subject to go, whether that's your face or some graphics that you're showing. And then this lower third section is where you want your captions to go. We want everything important in the digital frame to be as close as the focal point as possible. And that's because viewers are lazy. They have a tough time looking around. Like, I bet you didn't notice this Luka Doncic jersey that appeared here earlier in the video. I dropped a free digital frame template that you can download below this video, and I'm actually making a full video on optimal settings like this that are gonna help you go viral, so make sure you're subscribed to see that video later this month. Once you understand your framing, we can come over to 2 very important websites, CapCut and Canva. Canva is where we're gonna design the graphics that we're gonna show on screen. In our case for this video, we're gonna be showing logos that we're talking about in the video. Then in CapCut, that's where we're actually gonna edit the clips together to go along with the voiceover. You wanna make sure that you're cutting out any dead spots, because if your video is 10 seconds long and even just 1 second is a quiet dead spot, that's already 10% of your overall video, which is enough to flatline your viral potential. After you've finished cropping the video, then you can come over to the captions by clicking here. And then again, make sure you put the captions inside the right spot within the digital frame. Once it's ready, just export the video, and here is how it sounds.
These brands use the color green to convey growth, healthiness, and balance. You can use purple to show luxury, imagination, and royalty. Use orange to show creativity, fun, and enthusiasm. The color black conveys sophistication, power, and exclusivity. Colors play a vital role in triggering emotions.
And then look, just because I really want you guys to see that this works for any niche, I use the exact same framework for a fitness account.
Instead of eating this croissant, you can have all these raspberries. Instead of these 6 Snickers bars, you can have all these apples. All of this is 2,000 calories. You could finish it in 1 sitting and still be hungry, but all this also has 2,000 calories. And I bet you'd have a tough time finishing it in a day.
Now, once you have your video, then you're gonna come back over to Instagram and we're gonna upload this. But when you do, we wanna be selecting a viral audio for the background music. Basically, you're gonna come click here, then you're gonna add a viral audio like Cornfield Chase by Hans Zimmer, which is one of my favorites. And then make sure that you set the video audio to 100 and the background music audio to about 17 so they can actually hear your voice. This is important because now people will be able to discover our video from this trending audio as well. Unfortunately, Instagram doesn't really track these trending audios, but I do for my clients. The last thing that you need to do in this step is write a caption that is optimized for the Instagram algorithm. Basically, we need to discreetly hide keywords in the caption that will tell Instagram who to show our content to. For example, if I wrote a caption on this video that said, "Messi is better than Ronaldo, #football, this video is probably gonna get shown to a very different audience than if I wrote, "This is one of the best marketing tricks in 2024, #branding. You need to be using your captions to coach Instagram to show your content to the right target audience. Now I'm gonna press upload and I'll show you the results later in the video. But first, speaking of writing captions, have you noticed how some of the top creators are telling you things like this?
Comment the word recipes and I'll send you a free list of 10 more brain boosting meals.
Comment ads and I'll send that over to you for free.
So comment the word text below and I'll send you my free texting course with the 3 best opening lines.
Then you go ahead and comment that specific word and they'll automatically send you something like this in the DMs. Well, this is really useful for 3 reasons. 1, it gets people to comment on your post. 2, it gets people to spend more time on your post, increasing that watch retention. And 3, and the most important part, you can use this to get leads for your business. Look how many people commented on this post from my account. Well, I do this about once a week and get thousands of comments. And don't worry, I don't actually spend time replying to all these people. Everything is completely automated. And today in this video, I'll give you one of those simple automations that you can use to generate more comments and more leads like this. And before you freak out, don't worry. Even though this is technically a bot, I promise it doesn't hurt your account. This tool is 100% Meta approved as a partner, and I've been using it for a really long time. To set this up, basically you're gonna come click the link in my description and sign up for the website below. Then you'll just need to link your Instagram account to the tool. Again, it's 100% safe, it's a Meta partner, so get out of your digital comfort zone. And then once you're in, you'll come to the dashboard and click automation, then new automation, then just click start from scratch. This first trigger is what's going to start the automation. So we're going to come down and select when someone comments on your post or reel. Now, in theory, you could set this up so that when they click on any post, you could just keep reusing this, but we're going to click the next post or reel so that it only applies to the next one that we put up. Then click continue here. And then next, you're going to add a specific keyword. This is going to be the keyword that people comment with. So let's say the last sentence of your video says, comment the word popcorn if you want me to send you the link. So popcorn is going to be the word that we're going to use to get people to comment. I like to sometimes add a few variations of how people might misspell this because people are dumb, and then just click continue. Here, I would go ahead and click no, because if you do end up going crazy viral, these automated replies can feel a little bit cheesy, and then just click save. Next, you're going to come up to the second step in our automation. So here I'm going to write, hey, thanks for your interest in Content MBA. To sign up, just click the link below before the slots fill up. Then we're just going to change the words on this button to sign up, and we'll add a little bit of an emoji here, and then come over here and enter the URL that you want this button to take the people to. So if you're sending them to a landing page, you should enter that landing page here, and then you're good. But I would recommend testing it and previewing it up here, and this is what it would look like. So it sends, then they click here, and it takes them to the sign up page. I've been using this tool for a really long time, and I've tested it and created the most effective plug and play automations that digital entrepreneurs should be using to generate comments and actually get sales. Like for example, one of my most effective automations that I teach actually collects and sends emails straight from the Instagram DMs. I've literally built a massive email list from this, and it's been an absolute goldmine. And then obviously this is great for engagement. Just look at one of my clients, TJ Power, who you should go follow, by the way. But on this post of his, I set up a comment automation for him, and we got 13,000 comments, 31,000 likes, and the video has over 1 million views, which was a pretty big outlier for his page. By the way, since we started working together, TJ just had his biggest month ever on Instagram. We grew his account by over 75,000 followers last month, and we had a post get over 290,000 likes, all organically. As you can see, this is why it's important to have a proven viral strategy. Speaking of getting more leads, that takes us to our final step before I show you the final results on my Repute Forge page. You're probably wondering, how can you actually make money from these Instagram accounts that we're building? Well, you have a few options here depending on your niche. The first strategy that I'll talk about today is with brand deals. A brand deal is where a company pays you to advertise their product to your audience. For example, last week I got offered $4,000 from a company to make a single Instagram reel and post it on my Repute Forge account. Think about that for a sec. This account was started 6 months ago, and companies are already willing to pay $4,000 for one video. And that would take me less than 10 minutes to make. That's crazy. But for a long time, I really struggled to get quality brand deals until one day this happened.
Hey Dip, you all right?
I mean, I get a lot of views on my videos, but I never really make any money from them.
I know. It's called broke influencer syndrome.
That sounds kind of serious. Am I gonna die or something?
Relax, it's curable. All you need to do is reach out to the brands in your niche directly, and you'll make a bag.
Yeah, but how?
You can message them on Instagram, email them, or you can message via LinkedIn. Tell your subscribers to download this free media kit template and customize it and send it to the brands. Put it in the description of this video for them.
Wow, thanks for this. Who are you, by the way?
I am your digital wife from the future. You actually sent me back in time here to help you and your subs make more bread.
That does sound like something I would do. Cool poster, by the way. Also, how do we end up meeting?
Oh, come on. You rizzed me up from one of your videos.
The second way you can make money is by offering services. My page, Repute Forge, offers to make logos for people, and some of our videos have millions of views. So think about that. If we get 1 million people to watch this video, then a percentage of them decide to check out my page, and then a percentage of those people go to my website, and then finally a percentage of those people decide to buy that new logo. Well, this is called a content funnel, and it's an absolute goldmine when you do it right. One of the beta testers inside my Content MBA program used the content funnel strategy that I teach on his account that only had about 200 followers at the time. Before he used it, he was stuck getting a couple hundred views on his videos, but then after taking Content MBA and doing one call with me, we got his very next video to get 130,000 views, and he's gotten over 3,500 comments that are all new leads for his business. Pretty cool, right? Another way that you can make money from an Instagram account is just by selling the account. So think of the account like a piece of digital real estate. If you owned a house, over time, the value of that house would usually increase, unless you're living in a bad economy. With traditional real estate, you can also make money by renting it to someone else, or you could use the real estate yourself to sell your own products. And then finally, you can sell that real estate and really cash out. Well, the same thing is true with digital real estate. Your Instagram account is an asset. Over time, the value of that account goes up as you continue to grow the page, and you can use it to make money by advertising for other companies, or you could sell your own products on the page. And yes, finally, you can also actually sell the asset entirely. I get offers almost every week on my Repute Forge page, and so far I've said no to all of them. There are a lot of things to consider before you decide to sell a page, such as taxes, the payment method, if you want to use an escrow, whether the buyer is legit or trying to scam you. You want to make sure you do a lot of due diligence and negotiating before you decide to sell an asset like this. And if you're wondering how much you can make, it really does depend on the way you position the account and the niche. But just for context, the most that I've ever sold an Instagram account for was multiple 6 figures. That account was in the health niche, and it's a story for another video. But my point is, when you play your cards right, these faceless Instagram pages can be extremely profitable if you exit on them like a piece of real estate. And then if you have a business or you're trying to grow a personal brand on Instagram, there is so much opportunity quite literally at your fingertips. And if you haven't already figured it out on your own, my question for you is, how much is what you don't know costing you? And I ask you that not to make you feel bad, but because I spent years banging my head against a wall trying to figure all this stuff out on my own, rather than just investing in myself and learning from someone who had already done it themselves. I see so many personal brands, company pages, and faceless accounts who are either using outdated strategies or just making content that doesn't work in general. And if they just had a little bit of guidance, they could be getting such a bigger return on the amount of time that they're spending making this kind of content. If you've made it this far in the video, now it's time to show you if we were able to accomplish our goals or not. So after 6 months of uploading these kinds of videos, using the new method and the tools that I showed you today, were we able to get 1 million views on the reel I showed you how to make today or not? Well, no we did not, because that reel actually got 17 million views, 540,000 likes, and over 600,000 saves and reshares. After all that researching, scripting, and editing, we triggered the most important stats, and the new formula actually worked. But that's not all. Remember how I said to keep making videos like this? Well, we did that. And this video got 7 million views, this one got 10 million views, and this one got 30 million views. That's like having the entire population of Sweden watch the video 3 times each. In just the last 30 days alone, my content has reached over 28 million people around the world. So here's the full formula and everything that you just learned. Just adjust them for your niche and be creative. And for those of you who are serious about making this a reality on your own account, make sure to check out the Content MBA. And I just want to clarify, I'm not saying that you need to buy my coaching program to be successful on Instagram. Obviously, a lot of you out there are probably much smarter than I am and are going to be able to figure this stuff out on your own. It just might take you a little bit more time. But I have spent the last year developing this and building it into something that I feel so confident about for those who are ready to take serious action. That way, you can basically steal all my strategies and avoid my very expensive mistakes.
Dip, but what about the comments?
Oh, right. I forgot to mention that when I used the comment automations that I showed you, guess how many comments we got? Well, one video literally got over 15,000 comments, and many of my other videos get thousands of comments. My DMs are more flooded than an OnlyFans models. And the best part is, all of those messages become leads for my actual business. So now that I just shared everything with you, it's time for us to actually get to work. And I suggest you do it fast, because like everything on the internet, once this becomes overly saturated, I'll have to go back to my mom's basement. But I guess the good news is, this time, I won't be alone. I'll have all of you digital entrepreneurs with me. And if that's you, I will see you on the other side.